Everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to another Monday Night Live at 7:45. My name is Teresa Harper, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, located in Sheridan, Oregon. So, let's get our comments going. See who's watching. And let's see. All right. Go ahead and say hello when you jump on. And we'll weird. Okay, there we go. Now those comments are coming across. Hello, Laura. Hello, Jennifer. And Sharon. Welcome, Sharon. So glad you could join us. All right, so tonight we are going to be using a variety of products. Kind of jumping around here and there. Had some projects that I wanted to make, and last week was a very, very busy week. I had grandkids for 6 days straight, and I had grandkids overnight on Saturday. Suzanne had to attend a funeral of Rick's nephew, and so I had the kids, and I tell you what, I am wore out. So, good evening, Tracy. Hello to anybody who's watching on the replay later. Go ahead, I see. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So tonight we are going to be using the Sweet Sampler. I don't know if anybody noticed that in the back of their JJ 2021 mini. So this is it is the only host set that is in the mini, and you will find it on page 88. So any order of $150 or more that is not included in a workshop, or if you have a workshop, that you can get this set, and Stampin' Up! Discounts these. It's a $21 value, and you can get it for $12.50. Okay, so we're going to use that. We're going to use Dress to Impress. I'm not sure if I've ever used this before on a live video, but I had seen a card that I wanted to make that was made with the Hearts and Kisses bundle that's in the JJ 2021 mini. And I thought, oh, I don't have that bundle, so maybe I should order it. And then I thought, I got to looking at my Valentine sets and stuff, and I thought, oh, wait a minute. I think I can recreate something along that lines with what I already own. So we're going to use a mixture on our card that we're doing with this set. We're going to use a mixture of current product and retired product, just to show you that you can use what you already have on hand. So this is the bundle, and actually it was sold as a bundle in the spring last year, but now you have to purchase them separately. You will find the stamp set on page 23 of the annual catalog, and the all dressed up dies are on page 180 of the annual catalog. Okay, so we're going to use that. And then we're also going to use the Sweet Strawberry bundle, and that is on page 44 of the JJ 2021 mini. So we'll be using this set right here as well. Okay, so now that you know what products we'll be using, we can set those aside. And I want to tell you about the Hey Chick and Hey Birthday Chick special that goes on sale. If you're on the West Coast in the Pacific time zone, it will be on sale tonight beginning at 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. Mountain Time. So I would imagine that it will take them at least a half an hour to get everything set, because not only do they have these bundles going live to customers, but there's also a pre-order going live to demonstrators. So it'll take them a few minutes to get that all together. All right, so here's the flyer. I have the Hey Birthday Chick set. Now this is in the JJ 2021 mini. But it is a standalone set in the mini. Let me tell you what page that's on. Let's see. Hey Birthday Chick is on page 52. So that's right here. But as you can see, it is a standalone stamp set. So it's been for purchase since the catalog went live on January 5th. However, beginning tomorrow, it will also be available as a bundle with the Hey Birthday Chick dies. And these are the dies. Totally cool. So you get dies that will cut out each of the images. And then you get a fence and an extra chick and a bow tie or a bow and some little hay. This doesn't actually cut, it embosses. And then you get I'm going to guess this is a feed sack. This really cool happy birthday cutout, and then crepe paper streamer. So those are the dies that are in the birthday chick dies. Okay, so you can get these two as a bundle, and the bundle is $43. So if you're going to get one and you want the bundle, be sure to get the bundle price. Now you can also purchase them separately if you so choose. Not sure why you would. But remember, when you purchase as a bundle, you save 10%, and that's not only on the stamp set, but also on the dies. Okay? So then the other bundle is the Hey Chick bundle. Now, this was 2017 celebration. You could choose this as a freebie, and I fortunately did not get rid of mine. So I still have the stamp set, and Stampin' Up! Has brought that back because it was incredibly popular. And now it coordinates with our Hey Birthday Chick. Okay, so if you already own the Hey Chick set because you earned it for free, then you can purchase dies to go along with it. And these dies are so awesome. So this will cut out all four of these images. It has dies for that. Plus you get a corn stalk and a tree stump and a chicken coop and chicken wire and eggs and signs. And not only do you get the corn stalk, but you get the corn and the little castle things or whatever. And then there's this other little die. I'm not sure what this does yet, but I'll be checking it out, and hopefully we'll get to play with those maybe next week. All right, so you can get this, you can purchase this as a bundle and save 10% if you don't already have the Hey Chick stamp set. Or you can purchase the stamp set and the dies separately. Excuse me. And that will go live at midnight tonight. Okay? So just so you'll know. Stampin' Up! Is having some issues with some product that is currently on back order, and some that they are anticipating will go into back order status before they can replenish their stock. And they did announce today that they are having some issues getting things in shipping. So I would suggest that if you are really wanting the Hey Chick and the Hey Birthday Chick bundles, that you get them sooner rather than later. Okay? All right. So there we go. That's all the housekeeping that we need to do. Let me put those aside. And let's start with our first project. Now this project is using several stamp sets, and one of them we'll be using is the Paper Pumpkin stamp set from this month, the January Paper Pumpkin. And we'll also be using a stamp set a stamp from Sealed with Love. This is a retired set, so if you have this. Now, you can still make this card if you don't have these particular items. You would just need to purchase the Hearts and Kisses bundle that is in the JJ Mini. And let me see if I can get there real quick. That is this stamp set right here. Okay, because you would have an XOXO, some little hearts, lipstick, lips, and then the little swoosh, lipstick swoosh. Okay? So that's an alternative. But I pulled in 3 stamp sets to make mine with what I already have. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Hearts from Oval Occasions. This is in the JJ 2021 Mini, and it is bundled with the double oval punch. This one right here. So you can purchase those separately or as a bundle, and all bundles save 10%, and then we'll be using these. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to use a piece of basic black cardstock, and this is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish that to make our card lay nice and flat. Okay. Then I took a piece of the, let me see, what is this called? The Love You Always Specialty Designer Series paper. And this paper comes with, let me pull this out. You get Rococo Rose, Blushing Bride, and Sahara Sand. And you get 3 sheets of each one. Okay, so there's the patterns that you get. We're going to be using the Rococo Rose. Set this aside. Okay. And I have taken the stitched rectangle dies. I purchased a new set, and man, these are working so fabulously. They're so much better than those old Sizzix ones that we had before. So I have taken the I've taken a piece of the Specialty Designer Series paper, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and it has a hole in the center because I didn't want to waste it. So I just took my rectangle die and I cut a rectangle out of the center, just so that I can save that, because I'm going to cover this up anyway. So just saving some paper. But I did take, with this third to the largest one, I've cut 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock. One for the inside and one from the outside. Okay. So we're going to take our frame piece here, and we're going to attach this to our card base. And I'm just going to use some liquid glue so I can slide this into place. Mostly because it's so thin. And I can just line this up. Okay. All right. So then we're going to take our piece of Whisper White, and we're going to get, and we need a scrap here. We're going to do our stamping. We're going to take some Blushing Bride and Rococo Rose inks, along with Memento Black. And we're going to get the lipstick swishy. Okay. And sorry, you guys. I'm trying to get my sample card where I can see it. I'm going to take Blushing Bride, and I'm going to grab that little swishy, and I'm just going to stamp and stamp. And then I'm going to take my lips. I'm going to ink those up in Rococo Rose. And I'm just going to stamp those like so. And then I'm going to grab the little hearts from the Oval Occasions. And, oh! Well, that's not quite what I wanted, but it'll be all right. We're going to go with it. I was supposed to grab the Rococo Rose for my little hearts, but we'll just switch it up, and we will get the XOXO from my paper pumpkin, which is right here. And I'm going to grab those and put those in the Rococo Rose. And we're just going to randomly stamp a few of those. All right. Okay. Now we can set all of those aside. And then on this scrap piece, we're going to take the lipstick container. We're going to stamp that in the Memento Tuxedo Black. going to get out some Stampin' Blends. And we are going to start with our lipstick. And we're going to start with the light Rococo Rose. Color that in. I'm going to go with the dark and just give a little bit of shading here. And then I'll go back with my Rococo Rose and blend that out. Okay. Then, because I don't want to forget, I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella and I'm going to make my lipstick all sparkly. Okay. So then we're going to take our gray granite, light and dark, and we're going to color in this part of the tube, starting with the light. I'm going to put just a little bit of dark shading. And then I'm going to go back and blend that in with the light. Okay. All right. I'm going to take my light basic black and I'm going to do my little section there and then the outside of my tube with the light basic black. Just outlining it. And I'm going to go back and fill that in. Okay. And then I'm going to grab the dark basic black and I'm just going to give it just a little bit of shadow where the artist did. And then blend that in a little bit. Okay, so there's our little lipstick. Then we're going to grab our little mini cut and emboss machine. And we're going to get plate number 1. Plate number 2, and put down our lipstick, and from our all dressed up dies, we're going to take the little lipstick die, and we're going to die cut that. All right, and there's our little lipstick. So we're done with this for now. And we have one more thing that we need to do. We need to stamp our love, which also comes from our paper pumpkin. This month's Paper Pumpkin coordinated with the Forever and Always suite of products that's in the JJ 2021 mini. I'm going to get the black for this. I'm going to ink up this love. I'll set my lipstick right there. And then I'm going to stamp this down. Okay. Now we can go ahead and add this to our card. So we're going to do that with some Stampin' Seal. And to get your Stampin' Seal started, if it doesn't want to roll the first time, just grab a silicone sheet. And that will get it going. Right, so we're just going to center this up. Whoops, right side up though. That would be a very good thing to do. And then we're going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to use a mini for the top of our lipstick. And then I'm going to use 2 regulars for the rest. Okay. Then I'm going to pop this in my card, on my card. And I didn't get that cut quite the way I would like, so I'm going to go ahead and trim up some of this white because I have an excess for my liking. It must have slipped when I put it in. All right. So there's the front of our card. Oh, wait a minute. Wink of Stella. Our lipstick lips need Wink of Stella. Let's give them some shine. Gives us a little bit of sparkle. Okay. Hello, Josh. All right, so if you like that card, give me some hearts or a thumbs up. Let's see. For the inside of this card, we are going to take, what did I do with that piece I had? Oops. Okay. I'm not sure what I did with it. What did I do with my second? Does anybody see that? Oh, there it is. My basket. It's in my basket. So we're gonna do up our envelope. We're gonna do a little bit of cleaning because I did these the wrong colors. I'm gonna flip this over on this side there. Flip this. I'm gonna get that black ink and I'm going to stamp XO right here. Going to take those hearts and I'm going to stamp those right above my XOXO and kind of aim them up. Okay, so there's that. And then for the back of my envelope, I'm going to take the Sealed with a Kiss from the Sealed with Love stamp set. can figure out what I did with that sentiment. Oh my gosh, you guys. I know it's right here in front of my face. I took it off the block. That's why I can't find it. Okay. Line that up on my grid paper. Gonna put Sealed with a Kiss right here. I'm gonna grab those lips again with the Rococo Rose. Put those there. Grab a little wink of Stella. No naked envelopes. All right, so there's our envelope. And on the inside of this, we are going to do the Sealed with a Kiss again. Right in the center of this rectangle. Like so. And we're going to grab those lips. Some of those down, and then we're going to take that lipstick swooshy with the Blushing Bride and we're going to stamp off and put that right over our words. All right. So there you have matching card and envelope. And of course, we're going to go ahead and put the wink of Stella on the lips again. All right, and then we can add this to the inside of our card. With a little bit of Stampin' Seal. All right. And there you have the first project. Okay. So Laura, here's the finished envelope. Ah, Tracy, I'm so glad you love it. And Josh, thank you. Okay, let me clean up a few of these stamps and get them out of the way. And we'll move on to project number 2. Okay, I think that's all those stamps. Okay. Now, let's combine some of these so I have the blocks when I need them. Okay. That will be real helpful. All right, there we go. Get those out of the way. Moving on to project number 2. Set that basket aside. And we'll grab us another basket. Okay. So this card features the Sweet Sampler, and I did a color challenge today to make this card. And the colors that we were given were Sahara Sand, Blushing Bride, and Rococo Rose. So we're going to grab those stamp ink pads. We're going to start with a card base of Sahara Sand. Of course, that's 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. Just a standard card base. And to that, I'm going to add a piece of Sahara Sand, which has been embossed with the Painted Texture embossing folder, one of my favorites. And this is in the JJ 2021 mini catalog in the Art Floral Suite. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down with liquid glue. All right. So we'll just add this to our card base. And this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so that's down. Now next, I took a piece of the Specialty Designer Series paper. What is that called again? Oops. The Love You Always Specialty Designer Series paper. And this is the piece that I cut out of the center of the last card. Okay? So we're not going to waste it. We're going to use it on this card. And we are going to add this to our card like so. But first, we're going to take one of those stitched rectangle dies, and we've cut a piece of Whisper White. And this one uses the 4th to the smallest or the 5th to the largest, however you want to say it, rectangle stitch die. And we're going to stamp on this. Okay, we're going to take the floral image from the Suite sampler that matches the Art Floral Suite. And this we're going to ink with our Stampin' Up markers. I'm going to start with Sahara Sand, and I'm going to ink up the stem and the leaves. Give those a good coat of ink. Then I'm going to grab my Blushing Bride Stampin' Up marker. And I'm going to ink up my flower buds here. And then I'm going to ink up this flower. Let's give that a good coat of ink. Then I'm going to take my Rococo Rose, and I'm using the brush tips on these. And I'm just going to give a little swipe here, and a little swipe here, and just a little swipe here. Okay, just like so. And then I'm going to huff on this to re-moisten the ink. And then I'm going to place this on my rectangle. I'm going to give that a good press. Leave it for a second so that the ink can transfer. It's especially important when you're using the Stampin' Up markers. And this is what we get. Okay? Beautiful image. All right. So then we're going to take a scrap piece of Whisper White, and we're going to take the dragonfly image from the Suite sampler stamp set, And we're going to ink that up in basic gray. I'm using basic gray rather than Memento black. And I'm just going to stamp that down. Okay. And then I wanted to try something. I did something different on my sample card, but I wanted a softer look. So I'm going to grab my, I'm going to grab a blender brush. And the Rococo Rose ink. And if we don't like how this turns out, it's only paper. We can do it again. Okay. So I'm going to just ink this up, my blender brush. Take off the first little bit. Oh yeah. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of color on my dragonfly. Yes, I like that. Okay, and to clean your blender brush, what I do is I just take and wipe it on my paper, and then I'll take my chamois and I'll run it across my chamois real light and then rub it again. And if I have a microfiber cloth close, which I don't at the moment, I'll rub it on that. But for some reason, oh, nope, there it is right there. So we'll just take and rub that on the microfiber. And now you can see most of my ink is gone. If you still think there's too much, rub it again on your chamois and back on the microfiber cloth. The ink will stain your brush, but nothing's coming off. Okay? All right, so we're good with that. Now I have to take and fussy cut this out. There are no dies for this. So I'm gonna just do that real quick. I don't need that much paper, so I'm going to get off the excess. Makes my cutting a little bit easier if I'm not worrying about so much extra. Turning my paper as I go with my left hand. And I'm leaving just a tiny little white border along the outside. And we'll just quickly cut that out. I kind of like that if you really like the host sets, they are an extra value because they give them to you at a discount from what you wouldn't have to pay if it were just a regular stamp set in the catalog. And I did the same thing earlier. I should have started at the bottom of my dragonfly's little body so it would be a little bit easier to get around there, but we've made it. Okay, so now we have that, and of course the Wink of Stella is going to come out because we need some sparkle on those butterfly wings or dragonfly wings. All right, so then we can attach these two pieces. Wait a minute, more Wink of Stella. Some sparkle on those flowers. Okay, so now we can attach these. We're going to attach this at an angle, and then this like so. So we're going to take a little bit of liquid glue because we're attaching this piece to the embossed piece, and it will stick better if we use the liquid glue. Okay, I'm going to set that down like so. There's no right or wrong to whatever angle you want here. And then we're going to add this piece. We're just going to add that with a little bit of Stampin' Seal. Place that on our card. I'm going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals. And don't throw away your extra, the edges of your Stampin' Dimensionals. So for this one, I am going to take and put a strip of my dimensionals right up there. And then I'm going to peel that off. And then I'm going to take my liquid glue. And I'm going to take a look at where I want that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the body, just so it gives my dragonfly a little extra dimension. And I'm going to put him down right there. So now his body will be down, and then his wings will be popped up just a little bit, if you can see that. Okay. Now this card is almost finished. We need a sentiment. And for that, we are going to take a 1/2 inch strip of Whisper White and a 5-inch strip of Blushing Bride. And we are going to stamp Thank You, which comes from the Strawberry Bundle. And we're going to stamp that in the basic gray. Okay, so we're going to ink that up. And then we're going to just kind of center that on our strip. I'm going to press it, but not too hard, because I don't want to flatten that out. Okay. And I'm going to take this strip, and I'm going to grab my silicone mat, get my Stampin' Seal started, and then I'm going to attach this sentiment strip to the Blushing Bride. Okay, so that it looks like this. Now I could just lay this down like that, but I didn't like it like that. It needed a little character, I thought. So let me see if I can cut this without messing it up. I'm going to cut this at an angle, just like this. And then I'm going to cut this side at the same angle, just so I have this. Okay. And then I'm going to take some of that Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to use those leftover pieces again. And I'm just going to cut a little strip of those. To put on the back of my sentiment. Peel off the backing. And I'm going to add this to my card like so. And the final touch on the front of this card is to take the Elegant Faceted Gems. I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to get, these have petal pink, then there's a clear, and then there's a frosted. And we're just going to grab a few of these. And scatter them around. Just like that. Okay. Then for the inside of the card, I have stamped the Dragonfly 2nd generation Sahara Sand, and I used a leftover strip, 1/2-inch strip of the Forever and Always Designer's Specialty paper. Okay, so then we're just going to add this to the inside of our card. And then our envelope has that same floral image, but this time I didn't put Rococo Rose. And then on the flap, I just stamped this one piece, and then I used Heartfelt from Lovely You. This has some really lovely sentiments on it, and I love the font. So I used this Heartfelt to go along with the thank you. Okay, so there's that project. All right, so let me put a few things away here. And we will move on to the next project. All right. Clean off a few stamps real quick. Oh, thank you guys. I'm glad you enjoyed that card. I really like that Sweet Sampler set. It's great as a standalone, but it will be really nice to add it with the other stamp sets that are in those suites that it coordinates with. Okay, so let's move on. Set that aside now. And we'll go to our final project. I think I'm doing pretty good for time tonight. This will be a 3D project using the Sweet Strawberry bundle. It also uses the add-on paper pumpkin kit for January that you could purchase. So in that add-on kit were boxes, and the boxes were look like this to start with. Of course, they come flat, and I have taken this particular box and I have colored it in Poppy Parade. So what I did was I took my mister, my Stampin' Mister, and I put in some rubbing alcohol, and then I added the Poppy Parade re-inker to it, and I probably put in 10 drops for half of the bottle. I just kept going until I got it to the intensity that I thought I would want. And then when I had it there, I also added 1 drop of the Frost White Shimmer paint so that I would have a little bit of sparkle. I don't know if you guys can see that in the camera, but my box is pretty sparkly. Okay. Now, the one thing I did notice when you're doing this is that in order to get the color, it saturates through. So you do end up with kind of a mess on the inside. So what I thought I would do is I would take 2 pieces of Whisper White, and I've cut these at 1 7/8 by 2 5/8, I think. No, this is 1 and should be 1 7/8. Let's see if I got it too fat. No, that looks like it'll fit. And then by 2 what is that going to be? That's going to be 8/16, 10/16, 12, 13/16. So 2 13/16. 2 7/8 was just a little bit too wide, so just go down to the one little mark, the other side of that, and it will fit. Okay? So we're going to take and we are going to grab, so I want to do this now for the inside of this. And I'm going to take from the Berry Blessings stamp set, which is a free celebration item that you can earn. You can get this and the Very Delightful paper. Let me find my little thing so I can show you what that paper is. The Berry Delightful paper and the Berry Blessing stamp set come as a level 2 choice. If you spend $100, you can pick this as your free item during celebration. And as today is February 1st, celebration will end this year on February 28th. So if you haven't got your items that you want, now is the time to make sure you get those. So I'm going to take this stamp and I'm going to stamp the inside with this little sentiment. So I'm going to take the Memento Tuxedo Black and I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to grab this piece. I'm just going to put this in the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to add this. Oh, hang on just 1 second, you guys. There you go, buddy. Thank you for being patient. Usually I don't have midnight in the studio, but he fell asleep before the live, so I left him and then he wanted out. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put it in the top of my box here. And that will cover up some of that overspray. And then I'm going to add this piece to the bottom just to give it a cleaner look. Okay, so now I'm going to take and put my box together. And I'm just going to fold on all these score lines. This is already pre-scored and everything for you. This little add-on kit, you get, I think, 20 boxes, plus some snail die cuts. And the cost is $8, which I didn't think was too bad, and I really like the size of the box. So we've got all those ready to go. Now all we have to do, oh, wait a minute, I forgot this one. Got to get this one done. Fold that up. Okay. So now we're going to take these and these little tabs here. Gosh, it looks like I forgot to fold one more. Oops! I'm going to get those all scored before you get everything together. Okay. So we're going to fold these tabs in. I'm going to fold that back out of my way. Then I'm going to take my side tab. And there is a hole in the bottom here. Okay, come on. Get out of the way. And I'm just going to fold that over and snap it into that little hole. Okay, so you can see on this other side there's a little hole there. So again, I'm going to take these tabs and I'm going to fold them up, fold these pieces over, and lock that into the hole. And now my box is ready to be filled. Okay? Pretty simple. Okay, so we'll set that box aside. Now we're going to take some scrap pieces of Whisper White. And we're going to get our strawberry stamp set. But I've got to do a little bit of cleaning and moving of stamps here. So I've got some blocks to use. Okay. Alright, so we've got those. And then we're going to need, let's move this one off of this block. And then we're going to get the Just For You. Get that on a block. Alright, and that should be all of our pieces. Okay, so we're going to start. This is a piece of Whisper White, but because I currently have Whisper White on hand. So we are going to take the strawberry image, and I'm going to look at the strawberry punch, and I'm going to see what my orientation is for my punch. And then I'm going to orient my strawberry in that fashion, okay? So I'm going to take the Poppy Parade ink, and I need 5 strawberries. So I'm going to stamp this one down, and I needed to do this one first. This is the outline piece, so hopefully I can make this line up. If not, we'll do it again. Okay, so we'll start with the outline. And I need 5 of those. And I'm going to leave enough room in between for this little flower. Okay? So it doesn't punch out the outline of my strawberry. Okay? And I realize there's only 4 there, but it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go back with the Poppy Parade and fill that in. I am not pressing really hard because I don't want a large saturation of color to wipe out my berry, the details of my berry. Okay, so now I have those. Then I need some stems. So I'm going to take Granny Apple Green. And again, I'm looking at my punch orientation. I'm going to take my detailed stem. And I'm going to start on this end. And for this, I need I think I need 4. Okay, so then I'm going to take my filler, and I'm going to go back over and I'm going to stamp off. And then stamp, oop, I didn't do a very good job on that one. Got in too big of a hurry. If I bring this down a little, can you guys still see? Okay. So I'm going to redo a couple of those. One more, and I am not going to ink my stem this time. And then I won't have to worry about lining that up. Okay. All right, so there's my stems. Now I have one more image that I need to stamp. So I'm just going to stamp it all at once. And I'm going to take the strawberry flower and vines. And I really only want this one leaf here. So I'm going to get my Memento Black. And I'm going to ink that up. And I'm going to stamp that down. Okay. I'm going to set all that aside. Now, to punch this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my punch. And actually, I'm going to lay it down because I kept pinching myself. So I'm just going to line that up, punch, and punch. Okay. Now I've already done the rest of those, so I don't really need those. So we're good. And then I'm going to take my leaf. And for my leaf, I'm going to turn my punch sideways. And I'm going to line it up. And then I'm going to punch. And I'm going to keep moving that down until I have enough leaves. And again, I've already done that. But you're going to have a lot of excess paper, those scrap pieces from that. But that is a way to conserve your cardstock and still do it quickly. Okay, so we're going to take the Granny Apple Green Stampin' Blends. And we are going to start with the light Granny Apple Green. And we're going to color in these leaves. And if I leave a little white, it's no big deal. Okay, then I'm going to go back with my dark. I'm going to take the bullet tip. And I'm just going to scribble in the center here. Literally, just scribbling. Then I'm going to go back with my Granny Apple Green Light, and I'm just going to blend that out, just so I don't have any super harsh lines, okay? Now, I need to fussy cut this. And all I need is this stem, and I don't even need all of that stem. I'm just going to fussy cut this. Now, if you didn't want to fussy cut, you could use the leaf that is in the punch, and you could stamp the leaf and punch it out. But I really wanted these particular leaves on this project. So, and we're not fussy cutting a bunch, it's just this one set of leaves. Let's get rid of that excess paper that we don't need. And we're just going to turn that, and then we're just going to snip that, okay? So that was pretty quick. All right, I think we just have one more piece that we need to stamp, but first we need to cut. So let me move a few things here so we can bring in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And for this part, we are actually using from the snail dies, which are in the JJ 2021. There's this little envelope, and I'm going to use this little rectangle for my sentiment. So I'm just going to take a scrap piece of Whisper White. And I'm going to grab my plates. Plate 1. Plate 2, and I'm going to flip that over so that it'll help it to keep from warping. Oh my goodness, what did I do with that die? Oh, set the cut and emboss on it. Then I'm just going to set this down on my plate. Put it at a little bit of an angle. Slide my second plate 2 on there and roll it through the machine. And then I'm going to get this little stitched rectangle. Okay, moving that out of the way. Let's put this die away before that little thing gets lost. Now you can purchase this along with the Snailed It stamp set. And this is that bundle. And if you purchase it in a bundle, you'll save 10%. Okay? There's that. Now we're going to take this little rectangle and we're going to take the Just For You, which is from the Sweet Strawberry stamp set. And we're going to get that Memento black ink. And we're going to ink that up. And we're just going to stamp this down in the middle. Now my sample, I got lucky. I did it the other way around and it worked. But you really can't see with that die. So you're much better off to cut it first and then stamp it. It's so much easier to do that. Okay, so I think we have all of our pieces now. So let's go ahead and bring those in. Well, we'll have all of our pieces if I can. Oh my goodness. Oh, there they are. Okay. So here's all my pre-done strawberries. Okay, and then we are going to take our, we're going to fill this with some Hershey's strawberry cream. This is not my idea. I had these on hand already. But we're going to take 3 of these little hearts. And we are going to grab 3 little stems. And some glue dots. And we're going to put a glue dot on each one of those. And then we're going to pick that up and we're going to set that down on our little strawberry cream heart. I'm going to give that a press. I'm going to go to our next one. Give that a good press. That down. How cute are those? And then, oh, actually, I don't think I needed 3. I think only 2 fit in here. Oh, well. maybe could do, let's see if you can fit 3 in here. Oh, look at that. I don't know if it'll close up very well. No, it's not going to close up. Okay, so 2 little strawberry hearts in our little box. All right. So now we're going to take some of the white baker's twine, just from the Snailed It combo pack. Not sure why that's not staying down. Okay, we're going to wrap this around our box. And I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times. And I'm going to tie it over here in a bow. Looks like I'm going to fight this because I'm on camera here. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to take and fold this up like this. Bring this around, pull it through, tie that up, cut that off, and then I'll fix the loops of my bow. Trim my ends. Okay. All right. So got that. Now, we're going to take our Just For You and we're going to put that right up here. And we're going to do that with Stampin' Dimensional. So we'll put those on. And then let's add that to the box right here. Okay, then we're going to take our strawberries. Okay. We've got 5 of them, and I'm just going to take and fold these in half. Line up the edges. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and give those a crease. And I'm going to do that to all 5 of it. All right. Okay, then we're going to take some liquid glue. I didn't get that one folded very well. I'm going to try another one. Try to get that a little bit closer to the halfway mark. All right, there we go. I'm just going to take a little bit of liquid glue and I'm going to start stacking my berries, lining up the edges. And I'm lining up the outside edges so that they're all even, the best that I can. Okay. And the liquid glue is moving on me. They aren't going to be perfect because you didn't fold them all identical. I'm just going to line up those edges. And the liquid glue gives me a little bit of wiggle room. So I can slide those into place. And we're almost there. Just give that a press. And the last one. Okay. So now we have a 3D strawberry. Now I'm going to take a piece of the Whisper White and I'm going to stick this into my punch again. And I'm going to punch out one white berry. And then I'm going to put glue on these. And I am going to add that to the white. If I can hold on to it. It won't line up perfectly, but it makes it a little bit easier to stick it down on your box, I think. You could skip that and just glue those two pieces and then stick it to your box, but I liked it this way. Okay. Then I'm going to take one more of those little stems, and to this one I'm going to bend this piece up, and then I'm going to take a little bit of liquid glue, and right here on the edge I'm just going to put some liquid glue on those pieces. Okay. And then I'm going to take and set my stem on there. And hold it for a minute. Till that grabs a hold. Okay. And if you find you don't have it quite centered the way you want it, you've got a minute to move it. I'm just going to go ahead and give that a good press. And then I'm going to set that aside for a minute. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my berry. And I'm going to put those one at the top and one at the bottom. One right there and one right there. Oh man. Peel off those backings. I'm going to give that a press while it's down. Make those backings a little bit easier to pull off. And then I'm going to set that down on my box like so. And then I'm going to add this little stem right in here like this. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue. Right in the center there. And then I'm going to stick this right down in here like so and give it a press, making sure that I don't cover up my words. Just like so. All right, and there's that project. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have our projects done. Let me bring those back in. Get a few things out of the way. So we have our sweet sampler card. Our strawberry box. And we have our little love card. All right, so those are our projects for tonight. If you need to purchase anything, you can hit the Shop Now button on my paper, or you can go to teresaharper.stampinup.net right there, and you can get all of the products that I've used tonight. And thank you, ladies. I'm glad you liked everything. All right. Cynthia, welcome. And thank you. So glad to see you on here. All right. If there aren't any questions, I will see you guys all next Monday at 7:45. Have a good week, everybody. Good night.